Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas. At kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ito po ang Public Service UNLOCKDOWN. Kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong UNLOCKDOWN. Ako po si Rose F. Larinal.
And I'm Crystal Diaz.
Okay, ngayong hapon po, napaka-special pa rin ng ating program dahil pag-uusapan po natin ang Balik-Eskuwela. At kung Balik-Eskuwela lang naman ang pag-uusapan, bigatin po ang guest natin ngayon. Makakasama natin live mula po sa Baguio City, si Professor Annalyn Salvador Amores. At sa buwan ng wika po, pagtatapos ng buwan ng wika, makakasama po natin ang Yapak Ambassador in the Philippines para sa kanyang spoken words poetry na si Fitzken John Victor Garcia III. At ngayon din po, makakasama rin natin para po sa unlockdown situation sa England. Malalaman po natin kung ano yung umaatikabong aksyon na nangyayari o mangyayari sa Willesden ngayong hapon sa FIL-UK Nation Select Showcase. Makakausap po natin doon si Mr. ng Live, si Mr. Clive Castillo. At for Immigration 101, what do we have, Crystal?
Today, it's a very topical. We'll be talking about refugee, on how to claim asylum in the UK. As you know, because of what's happening in Afghanistan, it's a very interesting segment today. So please stay tuned.
Yes, dahil alam naman po natin mga kababayan, tinutukan po natin ang kwento ng mga OFW natin sa Afghanistan na inililikas magsimula po ng nagkaroon ng gulo doon. Ang iba po nating kababayan ay dinala po or lumanding dito sa UK when they were rescued by the British forces. Usap din po natin ang ilan sa kanila para ikwento ang kanilang storya ng pagtakas sa Kabul, Afghanistan. Mamaya po yan. Pero ngayon, live po mula sa Willesden, makakasama na po natin si Mr. Clive Castillo. Hello, Clive!
Hi everyone. Hi Rose. Hi Crystal.
Hello! So, Clive, maraming salamat sa iyo for joining us this afternoon. Alam ko, at 2 o'clock, magiging busy ka na because of an event happening there at Willesden. Ito po yung pinakaabangan ng mga kabataan sa London, FIL-UK Nation Select. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yan, Clive, next week, balik-eskwela na ang mga estudyante. I understand you are also teaching in a college or university?
Yes, Rose. I currently work in academia, so I work at the University of Westminster, where I've been lecturing there for the past 5 to 6 years, as well as coaching the basketball team there as well.
Okay, Clive, tell us, are there apprehensions from families, from parents, because students are going back to face-to-face classes this coming week?
Yes, there is. Of course, we can say in the current situation, a lot of, with Westminster, we're one of the most diverse universities in London. So we get a lot of international students flying in because they want to be in London. Get a lot of Filipino international students as well. Sorry, my phone's ringing, apologies. But university have taken a lot of restrictions and have put in a lot of safety and notifications to students to make sure that they are entering a safe environment and that everything is going back to, in a way, normality that we're trying to get. The students are excited, so I always keep in touch with my students. They're excited to have that full experience and that environment of just being in that learning environment and being back on campus.
Crystal, you have a question for Clive?
He said he's a lecturer and he looks so young. You know, it's amazing that we found out that not only he's a lecturer, he's also a basketball coach. But Clive, can you tell us, how did you choose this path? You know, when did you decide to become, to enter the academia?
It kind of, in a way, fed into my career. I was web designing and creating content from a very young age. and worked in the industry. I was a digital design manager for certain companies, worked internationally, had the opportunities to lead my own design teams as well. And then had a thankful opportunity from a great mentor to come into university, which I graduated from, to deliver some workshops. And from educating and having that experience of, being around students, I decided this would be more of my career path, and eventually pursued my further education. So I have my master's degree. But also, growing up in sports, I've always been a big fan of basketball and all sports, and kind of what the education system and what it can provide and the pathways that it has. So it's an interesting, I would say, a route. It's quite unique, but very fortunate in the career opportunities that I've had.
Okay. Clive, before we talk about the FIL-UK Nation Select, may I ask you the last question related to education? What are the safety nets being put in place for the return to face-to-face classes by colleges and universities?
I mean, every university has their own protocols, the way they handle things. Our university has decided to go more hybrid. I think that's the way that the world is moving, especially after the pandemic. And having a blended way of learning, practical sessions mixed with online theory learning. And that's the way the university has effectively broken it down to students. So we're flying in for accommodation and flying in for that university experience. But if, for example, we can maintain crowds, so we don't have, for example, large lecture halls or different maybe massive workshops that potentially can be run online instead, then the university would rather have that in an online based way of learning, and then have practical sessions where it's in smaller groups, which can help keep the quality of teaching at university, but still provide that whole experience of students being on campus, because it's important for mental health, it's important for their education. Students pay thousands of pounds to go into higher education, so it's really important that they get that full experience out of it.
Great. Thank you so much for that. Now, Clive, can you please tell us what's the action happening behind you? So, ano yung mangyayari at 2 o'clock in the afternoon there at Willesden? Tell us about it.
Yes, so currently we're actually setting up still. So there's as you can see, it's a massive basketball venue behind us. We're based in Willesden, Capital City Academy. We're running the first ever FIL-UK Nation Select showcase. FIL-UK Nation is basically founded by myself and working with Christian Gopez, who's the founder of FIL-AM Nation. So we connected through lockdown last year, and we collaborated together. And we found that we have a lot of the same interests in developing community relationships, developing grassroots basketball, helping female participation in sport. We found that a lot of our interests really tie well, and that's where the FIL-UK Nation came from. And this is our first showcase event. So we ran 3 regional camps last week in different areas of the UK.
Clive, do you mind if we ask you to stoop down a bit, because we can't see your face? I think you're so tall.
Sorry, it's just the camera. Apologies.
Okay.
So,
yes,
That's better.
I think your fans, your family, everybody wants to see your face. Thank you so much, and apologies for not calling you out on that earlier. That is much better. We want you to see your face. That's
I was just worried about the sound.
Go ahead.
I couldn't hear.
Yes,
I have a question, Rose.
Go ahead.
Yes, so we had 3 regional camps across the UK. So we went up to North, where we had athletes from Manchester, Derby, and all the North areas. Midlands, people coming up as well. Then we had 1 camp in South East and London. So a lot of families and kids have travelled all the way today to London to be part of this showcase event, which is being live streamed as well. And hopefully, we help to provide athletes in the UK with opportunities to, a platform where we can help build their profiles, show that, through the lockdown and through pandemic, we can still participate in sports and actively participate. And, we have a good amount of talent here in the UK. So it's just more important that we have a platform that we can showcase our talent here, not just in basketball. FIL-UK Nation Select focuses on a lot of different sports, potentially going into football, rugby. We have some amazing Filipino-British athletes that are doing very well in their fields, and they've shown great support to our program. So we're looking to expand it more, but this is the first one. This is the basketball event.
Crystal, go ahead.
I'm glad Clive said that they encourage women to join Phil UK Nation. Are there any criterias on joining your group, if any?
No, we're pretty much we welcome all talent levels. We just want to grow the participation, and if there's anyone specifically talented, for example, we had a girl up north. Her name was Charmaine, who's actually part of the England basketball selection. So she actually got invited to try it out for the national team, and we were just amazed to see that there are talent out there, but there was just no platform. So, but that's just one. But for example, we just want to help grow. The more people see that Filipinos in the UK are actively playing sports and being part of something, being part of an environment where it's safe. You know, you've got professional coaches here that have played in Philippines, in the PBA, that have played in the UAP. We have coaches that are doing very well in the community here. So we just want to help grow the participation. And if there's any talent that there is that we find, we can help provide educational pathways in a way, and hopefully people can see them and see that, you know, sports can be a vehicle for education. You know, kids can get a scholarship in the Philippines or here or in America, and that could be an opportunity for them to really better themselves. Because when I was doing sports, I really learned the soft skills that I applied into my career. You know, leadership, teamwork, different skill sets that I now apply into my career that I've really learned from sports. That's why I really got into coaching as well. I really enjoy it.
Amazing. Thank you for that. So there's no height restrictions then?
No, I'm bending down. I'm 6 foot, but I'm not. That's why my back hurts at the moment, because I'm trying to bend down.
Listen, I'm 4'11", so I'm not sure.
That explains it, Clive. That's why we couldn't see your face, because the camera was positioned just up to your chin. But anyway, there was a question here from Marie Fairbank asking about FIL-UK Nation Select, if you are just concentrating on basketball leagues or athletes doing this sport. But you already mentioned that you're doing rugby, football, correct?
We want to. We've FIL-AM Nation and the founders of the whole program have developed good relationships with the federations in the Philippines, like SPP. We are developing our relationships with like the Philippine Rugby and the Football Association. So we want to expand, and once we build those bridges, we can eventually, you know, branch out to sports. I mean, UK is obviously famous for football. That's our #1 sport here, and we have a successful amount of Filipino British footballers that have represented national teams that have gone back to the Philippines and played professionally. So this is something that we would love to get involved in. As I mentioned, this is only our basketball event, but we've had inquiries to do football, rugby, other events as well. It's just more about building and growing us as an organization and getting people to recognize what we're trying to do, because it's quite new to everyone, isn't it?
Okay, fantastic. So, Clive, can you please tell us what's going to happen at 2 o'clock and where can they watch it, and maybe your contact details and website?
Perfect. You can follow us at FIL-UK Nation Select. So it's at FIL-UK Nation Select. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. At the moment, the link is on the bio. So we have a YouTube link. So the actual event itself is being professionally streamed, so you can actually see all the players that are participating, where they're from. We've had parents come and kids come all the way from Manchester to be here, so I'm very thankful that everyone is here to actually be part of this event. You know, me and the team Me and Ryan Abaleda, who is the technical director, we've worked really hard to bring everyone together. But you could find out more about us on our Instagram, our Facebook. We have the live link there as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Clive Castillo. So yung mga nanonood po sa atin sa UNLOCKDOWN at 2 o'clock, lipat po kayo sa YouTube ng FIL-UK Nation Select. You will be able to see the sport happening, yung showcase na mangyayari ngayong hapon at 2 o'clock. Maraming salamat. More power to your group, Clive, and to you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.
Thank you. Magbabalik po ang UNLOCKDOWN.
This segment is brought to you by World Remit, a better way to send money.
Katuwang ko ang World Remit para mabigyan ka ng magandang bukas. Kahit malayo man tayo sa isa't isa, minsan hindi may iwasan ikumpara ang ating sarili sa iba. Pero ang perang pinadala ay nagsisigurong kasama ka pa rin nila sa pagtupad ng inyong mga pangarap. Sobrang proud ako bilang iyong ina, kasing proud mo ngayon na nagsisimula ng panibagong yugto ng tagumpay.